session. So there were no voting and there cannot be any voting in executive session. Now we're back in regular session, moving right along with the agenda. On the new business here, Rose accusation for Industrial Park Boulevard, number 4. What we got with that, Alan?
The first one is acquiring for the land going into Industrial Park Boulevard, which will tie into the existing road that's there, run by Harper Freight. There are 2 spurs, I guess might be the best way to put it, coming into that road, and then they tie together. The right spur is on land belonging to Mr. Thomas Buffet. He's willing. We don't have an option on that property. He's willing to convey that property. We need almost an acre of land for the road and about 0.35 acres for the utility easement. He's willing to sell it to us for $20,000 an acre. And so the total purchase price would be $25,800. The purchase of the land, I believe, the financing for the land that was from some grant money, RIF grant money. So the RIF grant is going to be used to purchase this property and pay for the survey that's involved. The survey will be included when I do the closing on this property as well. When you make a motion, I'd ask that you make a motion to approve this transaction, but also authorizing the county council chairman to sign any documents related to the conveyance.
Okay, will A and B be tied together, Mr.
B, they're related, but B is a separate transaction.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir. This time we have some motion to approve 4A, land from Mr. Thomas Buffet, and also in the motion we ask that, given the county council chair authorization to sign any documents relating thereto. Need a motion at this time to that effect.
I made that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we got a motion, need a second.
Second.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Moving right along to 4B, land from Dillon Property Holdings LLC.
And this is for the left spur coming in and the road that will continue all the way back to join the property, the current road. That's land that belongs to Dillon Property Holdings LLC. You may remember that that's where the land for the expansion there was mostly owned by Dillon Property Holdings, so we've dealt with them before on this. This is a little different. We're just getting a right-of-way and utility easement, which is sufficient for the purposes of the road that we are going to construct. And then there's another document because this is related to the I-95 Gateway Industrial Park. His land is already tied into that. Then the 5th Amendment to it, which is included in your packet, also needs to be approved. His price is a little less. Well, it's less than Mr. Thomas Buffet's property because he's locked in already at a certain price, and his price would be $19,206. So I'd ask that I'd ask for a motion that would approve the grant of this right-of-way and utility easement, the purchase of this right-of-way and utility easement, the approval of the 5th Amendment to the Industrial Park I-95 Gateway, and to authorize the chairman of the county council to execute any of those documents necessary for that purpose.
And that's 19,206 altogether?
That's correct.
Okay. This time we need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion we approve the 19,206 to Dillon Property Holdings.
And all papers signed by
All
chair.
papers signed by chair.
And all matters relating thereto.
All matters related thereto.
We got a motion, need a second.
Second.
All right, we got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? All right, moving right along on to 4C, a partial assignment from Dillon County to Marvell Development Team Holding Incorporated and its successors, and assigns of that certain land option agreement for tax map number -068-00-00-00-006 and tax map number 080-00-00-016, tax map number 068-00-00-039.
Before Mr. Chairman, before you move further, Mr.
Excuse myself.
You don't have excuse yourself necessarily, but this does involve property belonging to a family member.
I have your one, can I ask a question about it?
Sure.
Is he in agreement with this? I mean, as far as what he's got, I mean. I wanna make, I mean, y'all
Based
talk to
on-
him, I wanna make sure he's in agreement with what, I wanna make sure if he signs his option over that, he got what he's supposed to have, I mean, ain't no.
I don't, Mr. Councilman Coward, I don't think you can be involved in discussing that.
All right, well, I mean, okay, well,
Okay,
thank you. I excuse myself, then. I
Okay.
just wanna make sure that, you know.
and the record needs to reflect he's recused himself from that discussion.
All right. What are we doing?
He doesn't necessarily have to leave, but he can if he'd like to.
I mean, I'm good, I ain't gonna vote him.
All right, need a motion, approve 4C partial sign from Dillon County to Marlboro the team holding incorporated its successors and the sign of the certain land option agreement for the map number that we just stated. Need a motion at this time. Okay, we don't have a motion, so it falls.
That matter would simply fail.
Not a fit. All right, moving right along to 4D, county administrative contract.
We have a motion for that.
Okay, you got any information on the contract, Mr. Attorney?
I don't have a contract now.
I'd like to, can I,
Okay, this time we'll entertain a motion for the county administrator's contract.
I'd like to make a motion that we extend the county administrator contract to December 31st, 2018.
Okay, we got a motion.
To get out of the, you know, I think the one we got now runs out January 25th.
Is that, just for clarification, is that under the existing terms of the contract?
Everything the
Just-
same as this, change, extended out December 31st of 2018. That'll be about 13 months.
Okay, we got a motion on the floor to approve this contract to December 2018. All right, need a second.
I second.
All right, we got a motion and a second. Any discussions concerning administrator's contract being extended to December 2018? All right. We got no, all in favor? Any opposed? All right, moving right along.
Mr. Chairman, could I just say thank you, and it's a pleasure working for y'all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Berry. Pleasure working with you also. Moving to 4E, demolition clarification.
There are a few issues that I just want to bring to council's attention about the demolition ordinance that we have. The first one is, and I know I don't have to remind you of this, I know you all know this, but council members cannot be involved in that process except through the county administrator. They would simply have to go to him with any concerns. However, I also say that to get to this point, that our ordinance as it's currently written, it requires a complaint filed by a citizen who lives within a certain distance of the property. And I don't have any reason to believe that's not being done right now, but I want to make sure the council remembers that is a requirement of the ordinance. And then the third thing
Wait a minute,
is,
Alan, let me ask you something, if I can.
sure,
So over what you're saying, as a person got some property, they won't tow down his dead property. They can't come and ask for it to be towed
they
down?
cannot. It has to be triggered by a complaint from a citizen.
So the consent don't matter then?
Well, there's a process where if a complaint is received, that they can consent to it without us having to take it into court.
I'm just straight on that.
Okay.
Well, I have told people to come up here and fill out a paper, they saying they give them consent to tear it down. But you saying it need to be a complaint file?
That's right. There has to be a complaint first.
That's
Or by the sheriff too,
Yeah,
right?
the sheriff can do it too. If there's you remember there was a provision that the sheriff could complain about any property in the county, and then we could take action. Other than that, it has to be a citizen who lives within a certain distance of the property that's being complained on.
Just out of curiosity, the sheriff having is because of maybe being drug related?
That's correct.
Or something.
That's correct. And then thirdly, and I tried to get something that I could provide you in writing on this, but I'm gonna tell you what my opinion is now. I will back that up with something in black and white for you. This is a county ordinance, and it applies, even if the ordinance doesn't specifically say it, it applies to the unincorporated areas of the county, not to apply to Dillon or Lakeview. And so this would only affect properties outside of the municipalities without some sort of agreement from the municipalities agreeing to abide by our ordinance. I'll get you something that confirms that so that you'll be able to read it
So what are you
yourself.
saying, we don't need to mess with nothing in the city limit?
I don't think you can. No.
Okay,
No.
that's fine.
That's right.
All the new towns bought in the county, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying, I think what he's saying is, if anybody got any intent to turn something down in the city limit, I thought the whole purpose of passing this was for the county, not the city.
It's for the county, that's
Yeah.
right. City can do their own, that's right. They should have their own ordinance, and I
Yeah.
believe they do.
They do. Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, moving along, 5A, Artis, second reading, amend 2017-2018 budget.
Motion.
Need a motion this time.
I'll make a motion, we amend it.
Okay, need a second, and a motion, need a second.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second, any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? All right, moving right along. 5B, first reading, authorize the execution of a fee and lieu tax agreement by and between Dillon County, South Carolina, and a company known to the county at this time. The project uniquely with respect to certain economic development properties in the county, whereby such project will be subject to certain payments in lieu of tax and other matters relating thereto.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, we just gave the customary fee in lieu. The Commerce chipped in, again, 50 or 100,000?
50,000.
50,000, so ours is just a customary fee in lieu to this project unique.
Okay. Got any motion to pass first reading concerning projects unique?
I'll make that motion.
Motion in a second.
Second.
All right, got a motion in a second, any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed?
Excuse me from voting on that.
All right, moving along under 5C. First reading in ordinance to amend an agreement for the development of a joint industrial business park 2016 of Dillon and Marlborough County, such as to enlarge the project unique.
Mr. Chairman, I feel like we can go forward with this too. This is to create the multi-county industrial park so we can get our economic development fund and other things. It is project unique, but it does, according to the way this reads, it does not matter where it's located. So it doesn't have an address designated here, but when they do locate, we can make it a multi-county park.
Okay. This time need a motion to pass first reading.
Make motion to pass the first reading.
Okay, need a second.
Second.
All right, got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? All right, moving right along. Under 5D, an ordinance authorizing the execution of fee in lieu of tax agreement by and between Dillon County, South Carolina, and a company of companies known to the county at this time as Project Tiny Miracle, Tiny Miracle, with respect to certain economic development properties in the county, whereby such projects will be subject to certain payments in lieu of taxes, including the provision of certain special source revenue credits and other matters related thereto.
Mr. Chairman, I know we got so many solar projects that kind of run together, so this is the first reading, and if you'd like a reminder of the specifics on this, Tommy's prepared to give it to you.
Can you give us a little small synopsis of it?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, this is the $103 million solar project that we discussed previously in executive session. So that's the one that, just wanted to refresh your memory on that.
And what is the agreement they have between us? What are we giving up? How much we giving? What we talking about?
Basically, it's about we have a special source revenue credit over 40 years. It's about a 7% special source revenue credit over 40 years. And we get about $140,000 a year in tax revenue.
This was the set fee. Remember, there was no depreciation. It was a set fee every month of that amount.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. There's a motion at this time to pass That's an ordinance authorizing the execution fee and,
I'll make a motion with that first reading.
okay. Need a second?
Second.
All right, any further discussion? All right, all in favor? Any opposed? All right, this time, item 6, council comments. Any council members have any comments at this time? All right. No comments? This time we entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion with adjourn.
Okay, we need a second. All right, all in favor? Any opposed? Meeting now adjourned.